So just to be sure,
Okay.
please introduce yourself to the city.
Okay, Ramsey Robinson. I lived in LA for 20 years. I lived just a few blocks away on Hoover and Adams. And all that time, all those 20 years that I lived in LA, I'm probably just like you, where I suffered, where I lived on the razor's edge, where there were months where I didn't even know if I could afford housing or healthcare. And there were many times that I had to pay for rent knowing that I wasn't gonna have healthcare. So I'm so glad to be back in LA and spread this message that California for the people, not the billionaires. And with a permanent tax on these crews, with a permanent tax on the billionaires that steal from us $7 billion in wage theft a year, it's time to get that back. And this is what we're saying. Come together, let's volunteer, let's work together to get to California where we have guaranteed housing, healthcare, education, a dignified retirement, and union jobs at $30 an hour for all of us. Imagine what our LA would look like if we had those days. And this is what we're clicking up and unifying and building a movement that, of course, includes Angelenos in our fight for that. It's for real, as you say.
That's right. And it's good to have you back in the city with us. We appreciate knowing that a true worker, that a true renter, that somebody who has known these streets is back with us, not in just any way, but actually running for governor. Can you tell me a little bit about what inspired you to actually declare this candidacy? How did you come to that? Tell us.
You know what inspired me? What inspired me is living in LA for 20 years, and like we're talking about, not being able to afford a place that has a shower. That's what inspired me. Working with beautiful, amazing coworkers who had to live 5, 6 together in a 2-bedroom apartment. That's what inspired me. It inspired me knowing that half of California is living paycheck to paycheck. That's what inspired. And it started to bring about this anger in me to want to fight back. And then I started to realize through organizing, this is how we fight back. By clicking up and fighting back together, this is how we get what we want. And so this is what really inspired me to make sure, because it's possible now. When they tell us that we can't afford this, or can't afford that, we know now that they're lying. Now so many of us know this is the 4th largest economy in the world, a $4 trillion economy. So there's no excuse that we can't take back those trillions of dollars that are stolen from us workers to make sure that we, all our families here in Los Angeles and everywhere in California, have the dignity and the security that we deserve. And this is why we're getting together. And right past those doors, you're going to see so many people out there that are fighting for the same thing. So it's an incredible night, and it's an incredible time to fight that.
Now, we've mentioned it a few times, organizing. Tell me a little bit about how you came to the Peace and Freedom Party in California specifically.
The Peace and Freedom Party is the only socialist, not the only socialist, we are explicitly socialist party on the ballot, right? We have ballot access, and we have a clear message and a huge volunteer force that is saying that we're going to start to take back what is ours. We're not taking any money from AIPAC, any money from the billionaires. We are run by people power. And we know that this is not the same with the Democrats and the Republicans. The Democrats have had the supermajority in the House and the Senate for decades now. And what have they been able to do? They say they're for working people, they say they're for families, but is it easier to get a job or harder to get a job in California? It's a rhetorical question. It's harder. Is it easier to get a house in California or harder? It's harder. And this is because the Democrats are still sending money to fund a genocide in Palestine. The Democrats are still funding ICE. When 200,000 of us got together in Minnesota, and when I say us, I mean people like me and you, to say, hey, ICE out everywhere, behind the back, the Democrats were still funding ICE. So we can't roll with them anymore. We have to break for them, but not only break for them, we have a party with ballot access since 1967, and that's the Peace and Freedom Party. The billionaires have 2 parties. They've got the Republicans and the Democrats both. We need our own party. And that party for working folk like us, like you, is the Peace and Freedom Party.
Now, to be sure, for somebody who has heard you today and is ready to either participate or get involved, what do they need to do to check your name off on that ballot? And then how do they organize locally before we get even there?
Sure. Well, we want everyone to go to ramsey4gov.com and register Peace and Freedom Party, right? And I will say, though, for the primaries, if you're not registered for Peace and Freedom, register, but you don't have to be to vote Peace and Freedom Party. So on June 2nd, you can bubble in Ramsey Robinson, and we have a whole slate: Lalo, Frank, Megan, Alice, bubble us all in because we're a socialist party that's for the people, not the billionaires. But also go to ramseyforgov.com and sign up to register for Peace and Freedom Party and volunteer. And I gotta say that, y'all, because we run deep as engineers. I was just at a party the other night, just last night, and a Latino brother was saying, you know how black and brown people get down. The billionaires want to try to separate us, but we know we have so much in common. And when we get together and fight together, that's how we win. And so let's get on the ballot. We're on the ballot already. We have 51,000 signatures to get us on. But now we need to click up like black and brown people always have done. If we read our history, we know that happened right after the Civil War. And we need to volunteer and get this word out to everybody. We had 10,000 volunteers knock on doors just this month. So all of y'all out there, let's get together and volunteer so we can keep this movement going, the Peace and Freedom Party.
And just to be sure, by June 2nd, people do not need to necessarily be registered with the Peace and Freedom Party just yet. Your name will be on that ballot. And then, as you said, the slate of the Peace and Freedom Party candidates is out on the ballot so they can bubble them all in, regardless of whether they're registered yet or not.
Yes. But we do want them to register because we got to show these fools. We're done. We're done with the lies. We're done with the backstabbing of the Democrats. So yeah, bubble us in whether you register Peace and Freedom Party or not. I want to say this. I'm so glad I remember this, Jimmy, that the Peace and Freedom Party is the fastest growing party in California. And so let's keep that growth going because it sends a message that we're done with these fools.
Since 1967, let's go.
Say that, Jimmy.
Let's go. Ramsey, what a pleasure. Seriously.